Hello my friends, this is your friend Alex, Super Nintendo Gamer. Welcome back to the channel and this week's episode of the Alex Game Show. And today my friends, this is a very special video, because this is the day I'm going to be telling you the story of my two kittens, Emma and Onyx. And this is a really good story, so get ready, get your popcorn, your drinks, because this is going to be a really story, my friends. You won't believe what happens on this. If I were to film this that day, you'd think it was a movie. But I didn't film it that day because it was awful nerve-wracking trying to rescue those two little kittens. So before we start the film, I'll ask you guys a question. Do you guys like cats? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Okay, everyone, I'm about ready to tell my story. The story of my two kittens, Emma and Onyx. It started out after me and my family was coming home, and we had a load of groceries, and we had like PlayStation games in the back, and a pizza oven, and we had like a table we had in the back seat. We just had everything. Our whole car was loaded down. It made it tight squeezing in. I had to squinch in like this to get in. And when we was going down this road, we was like a sharp turn we had to take, and we saw this turtle in the road, and we had to stop for him because he was in the middle of the road, and we were afraid he was going to get hit. He was a big old snapping turtle. So we had to drive back, all the way back, to get him. And then we had to get out of the car, and I had to get out of the car and pick him up. Like, this is him, I had to pick him up like this, and carried him over here, and put him over here. And boy, he was heavy. That was a big toe. I never picked up a snapping toe. Mom's were, don't pick him up, he's going to bite you. And I said, no, not biting, pick him up from the back, he won't. So I had to pick him up, put him on the side of the road, put him in the grass, and he wouldn't get hit by a car. And after we put him in, then we heard this sound like saying, and I was like, was it kittens? We thought it was just a regular cat. And then we saw it was two little black kittens. And they were just small. They could fit in the palm of my hand. They was that small. And there was two of them, which was Emma and Onyx. So we had to go get them. So my mother and my aunt, my youngest aunt, they had to climb over this big steel, like big metal rail. And my oldest aunt, she stayed in the car to watch the groceries, and which was bad. We had frozen and refrigerated food that day. Then they was trying to catch him. We caught the boy. We caught Onyx for us, and we got him over to the car. And my oldest aunt held on to him. Meanwhile, we was trying to catch Emma, and her eyeballs went like that. She ran up this big hill, and what was bad, there was cars coming back and forth, so I had to keep out and watch for them. My youngest aunt, she said, keep out for any cars, because we don't want to give him hit. And that was the nerve-wracking part, because Emma was running back and forth, and we were afraid if she gets hit by a car, I don't want to think about that part. So we had to chase up this big hill, and what was bad, there was poison ivy. And I'm allergic to poison ivy, and that was the first time I ever ran through poison ivy. Normally, I will not run through poison ivy. That was the only time I did, because I knew we had to save Emma. And we got this big hill, and there was like a little cave. This is like the little cave right here, and my aunt had to reach like a hand in to grab her. But with that, she'd do like this, and she'd go in the back of the cave like this. She looked like this. So, luckily, we've been to the grocery store, and my mother, she had to run back all the way to the car. We had to watch out for cars on the way, and what's bad, the hill was on, it has like a steep creek where, it's not just a hill you want, it's like a steep hill. It's like you have to climb up like this up the hill. Yes, that's a big hill. And then my mother, she ran back to the car. She had to get the ham. Luckily, we bought some ham that we use like for our hoagies, and she opened it up and got some pieces out. Luckily, we had a cooler too to keep it cold. Then she ran back up the hill. I had to go down and help her up because my youngest aunt didn't want to leave Emma. My oldest aunt was in the car watching Onyx. Meanwhile, when my mother got up the hill, we cried Lord Emma out with ham. And Emma, she'd come out like this. She'd do her little nose, and she'd come out. And then she'd take a little bite like this. And then we cried a little out to the top, like this is where my aunt is, and this is like the cave hole. She'd come up like this. Then when she cried come up, we cried grab her. She kept going back in. So we had a hole all the time. It was bad. That cave area was starting to kind of shift a little bit, like it was like dirt was coming down. We were afraid it was going to cave in on her. So we knew we was going to have to cry again. We thought we was going to have to go back and get a ham. But that wasn't noticing bad. There was a bad storm coming, and what was bad, it was going to be a lot of thunder and rain. Well, that's scary. We figured we can't leave Emma. We didn't call her Emma yet. She was just known as a little kitten, but we call her Emma now. We're afraid we can't not leave her because something could get her. And what's bad, that snapping turtle, we looked up on the internet when we got home, they don't eat like little kittens. Figure that's maybe why he's walking over there to him. He's been crying, figure he's going to give him a little kitten snack. No way he's going to touch them. Not on my watch. Meanwhile, we had what was bad, our food's going to spoil. So we figured the only way we was going to have to do this is my mother go right back home with my oldest aunt and get a cage, and me and my youngest aunt stay there and watch Emma. But we decided we had one more piece of ham left right there, and my mother thought she was going to run back for another slice, but we decided we can just lure her up a little bit closer, we can grab her. So my aunt managed to lure her back up to the top. This little hole, we managed to lure her up right here, and when she wasn't looking, my youngest aunt, she grabbed Emma like that real quick and pulled up real quick. That way she wouldn't escape. We figured we rescued her. And what was bad, when we was going back downhill, we tripped on the way downhill. It was like this. You had to walk like this on the hill. It was horrible. It's like you had to take your feet and hold on to the side like suction cups and you wouldn't fall. It was bad. My youngest aunt fell. She fell. And then I fell and I landed on top of her back because we tripped on this little piece on the hill. And what was bad, I thought my mother grabbed the kitten. Oh yeah, and when we was taking the kitten down, my mother, she took her shirt off and wrapped the kitten up. Don't worry, she had her clothes on. She was holding Emma, and we thought she grabbed Emma. I figured, no, don't grab her. And what was bad, that was about the time a car was coming through. I figured, why is this happening? Meanwhile, Emma was okay, and I kind of hurt my own bit, and my youngest aunt, she hurt her back a little bit. What was bad, I landed on top of her back. Like this, like the hills, like right here, and we was walking, and we tripped, and I came down like this on her, accidentally. What was bad, it was kind of slick that day, and it was kind of muddy, too. That's what's bad about those steep hills. They're so steep you trip and fall. I thought we was going, and what was bad, our heads almost came to the road almost. Luckily, we didn't hit the road. We took our arms and pushed ourselves back up so when our heads went and fell on the road. Thank goodness. And it was bad there was a dip right here. Like, this is the hill that goes down, and there's the road. There's like a dip right here. That's how bad, that's how steep it was. That's also a good way to break your leg, too. Meanwhile, we managed to grab Emma. Then we managed to get them into the car. And what was bad, when we was going to the car, I told my oldest aunt, we was bringing the other little kitten in. So hold on to that one really tight, because we don't want them escaping, because this thing's out there that get little kittens. So we had to really hang on to them. And meanwhile, we got into the car. And we had to drive all the way home. It took us a little while, but we got there. And when we got there, my youngest aunt, she went in and got the cat carrier. It was a little small one we used to take, like, when we took Dilbert to the vet. So we had to use his spare one. Luckily, we have two. That's what my youngest aunt always says. Always have two things, like a backup, like we have two cat carriers. Like, we had one for him, but we decided to get another one for him because you don't know how, like, something like it's dirty or it's broken. It's always good to have a spare, because you never know, there's like maybe an emergency. And that is true. Meanwhile, we got her. Meanwhile, she came back out, and we got Emma and Onyx into the cage, and we had this big other cage. We had him, and it was a dog cage we had. And I had a dog back, his name was Barley. He died in 2012. He was a little Jack Russell. He was awful cute little doggy. He died of cancer that May in 2012. That was a really sad day. Meanwhile, we had to use his old cage for Emma and Onyx to hold them in, and we had to go buy another big cage for them to put them both in. Meanwhile, and when we got them home, they was awful famished. They was just eat, and they actually gulped their food. So we started like chopping their food up and started making healthy food for them to get them on a healthy diet. And there was the days when they wasn't as hungry as much, and we don't know how long they was out there. It wasn't like if they was just out there for a little bit. These kittens were starved. They's actually, like, this is their food. Be like their food right here. They's actually doing like this, man. They was that hungry, and we tried to get like them, tell them don't eat so fast, slow down. And they just keep on eating real quick. So these little kittens have, I think we don't know where they came from. We don't know what even happened to their mother. We looked around for their mother. We didn't find the mother. We think something happened to the mother. What's bad is a lot of wild animals out there. There's cars running back and forth. There's a good chance she could have got hit, or something could have got her, or she could have died having them. We don't know. And there was no way we was going to leave Emma and Onyx there. So ever since we got them in May this year, and we've been taking care of them since. Now they're healthier. They don't gulp their foods down. They eat slower, and they play together. And they're healthiest little kids. And we're really going to get him spayed and neutered because we don't want her having kittens with him because she's too young. That would maybe kill her. At her, she's not a big cat. He's a lot bigger than her. She's a little bit more smaller. So we're gonna take him. We're trying to get him an appointment in, so we can take him, get him spayed and neutered, and then we can try to get her spayed and neutered. There's this place. We thought we could take them both at the same time, but they know we're taking one at a time. So we're gonna try to get him in first, because that's the openings for a boy or a girl. We was really hoping they get to go together, but it looks like only one's gonna get to go at a time. We was really hoping for both of them to get to go together. But the good news is, my friends, this Emma Onyx has a safe home here with me and my family. They're well fed. They play a lot. We made a little fun little box house for them out of cardboard, and they peek their little heads out. And they're the cutest little cats. You just gotta watch out for curtains, because when they get curtains, they do like this. Oh, on the curtains. And they're just still kittens. They'll outgrow out when they get older. Well, I'm really glad I got to share the story with you, my friends, because this was a story I think could almost be like a little TV series or something. But it's really good how we found them. I'm glad we found them. And I think it was God's will for us to go rescue them. Thank you guys for listening to the story. If you like this type of content, please give a like, a share, and subscribe. And don't forget to subscribe to Alex Super Nintendo Gamer for more fun contents on video game products, or video game reviews, or about my personal life, or updates. See you guys next Saturday for another Talk Review Showcase on the Alex Game Show. Have a great day, and God bless you, my friends. Bye-bye.